Do you find that you ever run into any horses that have specific issues that you don't find success with utilizing the same techniques, or is there anything that's kind of stumped you as far as problem horses you've run into?
Sure. I think definitely depending on the horse, you need to adapt the kind of training that you're doing. One example would be the difference between a very sensitive horse who's a little insecure and very eager to please versus your more stubborn-headed, thick horse that takes that's a little bit more pokey, so to speak.
Sure, kind of like the same as people.
Excuse me?
It's the same as people.
Yes, exactly. So with a more sensitive horse, I would focus more on building trust and building up that horse's confidence through various exercises like desensitizing and trust-building exercises. So to make sure that horse trusts me enough so that when I'm working with them, they're thinking and they're not fearful and overreacting. Now with a more dominant horse, I would still do desensitizing and build confidence and trust because that's important with every horse, but I would put a bigger focus on gaining their respect to make sure they're paying attention to me, listening to me, and staying safe as well. I think it's important for any horse to understand the principle of personal space. Just because they're such big animals, it can really be quite dangerous if they don't respect your space.
Absolutely. Now, there's different equipment on here for different needs, obviously. What would be just maybe a once-over of the basic equipment that you would utilize if you were starting with a horse that didn't, let's say, have a lot of maybe issues, emotional baggage, but that you wanted to make sure you were doing the best that you could do for yourself and for your horse? What would be some recommendations for beginner trainers?
I would buy a natural horsemanship kit, which is just the halter, the training stick, and the lead rope. I'll just go over what those three pieces of equipment do really quickly. The rope halter is great because as a training tool because it's thinner than other halters. So it's comfortable for the horse if they're not pulling on you. But as soon as they start fighting against you and pulling on the halter, it makes it uncomfortable for them to lean on. The rope just has a really nice heavy feel to it. And the training stick is nice because you can use it for exercises that require you to be up close, like backing up. It's 4 feet long, but it's built so that you can easily handle it. And you can also use it for exercises that require you to get a bigger distance from your horse, like lunging. You can let out the string, and then you have 10 feet to work with. And finally, that same training stick you can use to attach various objects on, like plastic bags, which makes it great to desensitize your horse to, which goes back to building confidence and trust with your horse.